Hello, and welcome to your first semester advising session. Hopefully you're here because you are a first semester student interested in the College of Business and Economics, known as COBE for short. College of Business and Economics can be quite a mouthful, so from here on out, you'll hear us refer to the College of Business and Economics as COBE. This is our wonderful advising team. Our office is made up of our director, some advising coordinators, academic advisors, our admin assistant, and some peer advisors. My name is Stephanie, and I'll be walking you through this presentation today. So welcome. Thank you for doing your part to get your rad hold removed. What we're going to cover today is some COBE specifics. So what is it going to take for you to be the most successful COBE student you can possibly be in your time here at Boise State? We're also going to go over what was emailed to you, your virtual packet. That's going to include the digital checklist, your proposed plan sheet, and the resource links. We won't be going into breakout rooms, but we will be helping you do your best to create a schedule today. A little bit about the COBE advising services. So every semester you're going to notice that a hold is going to go on your account. What that hold does is it keeps you from enrolling until you meet with a COBE advisor to plan for your next semester. Making sure that you complete your proposed plan and email back your advisor is going to be imperative to getting your hold lifted for this semester. In future semesters, you'll keep an eye out on your email for what our advising model is going to look like in order to get that hold lifted. What's really great about the College of Business is that we do not assign an advisor to you. You have the option to choose an advisor that you seem to work really well with. In a typical semester, we offer walk-in advisings where students can walk into our office, meet with the advisor of their choosing at their earliest convenience, but everything is going to be remote for this semester and most likely through the spring. So please keep an eye on your email about how best to get your hold lifted. You should have already received an email about your enrollment appointment, and enrollment on your account should be open at this point. Like I said, email is going to be the best way to stay connected to us. Please make sure you're always checking the emails that come from the COBE advising at boisestate.edu email address or that come from the advisor you last worked with. We try not to email you often, but when we do, it's because it's really important information. Another great way to stay connected with us so you don't miss important dates and deadlines is to connect with us through our social media channels. If you're interested in the Finish in 4 program, you'll be able to sign up for that session in the spring of next semester. That is only open to students in their second traditional semester, and you can only sign up with COBE advising. So please make sure that you're keeping an eye on your email for information about how to attend a sign-up session and to find out more information about the program. If you don't know what the program is, I recommend you attend a session so that you can know all opportunities available to you at Boise State. All right, now we're going to jump into what's in your packet. You should have a checklist in that packet, and I'm going to ask you to take a minute to download that checklist. You'll also have a proposed plan link, your campus resource link, and your foundation resource link. But please take a moment to download your checklist, and while you do that, I am just going to walk us through some important parts of your student center. That checklist file is really large, so it can take a minute to download. So I'm going to go ahead and load up my student center. If you're wondering what your registration date was, once it's been posted, it always posts under your name and your picture in your student center. And then once you're here, you're going to want to navigate to the right-hand side of your screen and click Student Center. This page should look familiar if you were with us for registration. This is where you came to do your class search and enrollment. This right here is where all of your tasks and to-dos are held. Your RAD, R-A-D, required advising hold is housed here. This is also where you will find your financial aid agreements. That's the agreement between you and Boise State, understanding that your classes do cost money. This is also where you get your Dean of Students holds that goes over what appropriate behavior for a Bronco is in your time at Boise State. So you want to make sure that you are always paying attention here to your tasks and your to-dos. And then this tile is what we're going to focus on today. So this is the tile what your advisors will use to communicate with you, to post any information that we want you to be able to revisit. So whenever you're ready to access that stuff, the only word you have to remember is advising. click right here for advising, and then my advising notes. After you complete your proposed plan and email it to your advisor, they will post it here with your checklist. So if you ever want to access that again, you can click this little view note icon. A new page is going to load, and that proposed plan that you have signed, once your advisor signs it, and that checklist will be posted here. But you do need to fill out your proposed plan at the end of today's session and email your advisor to let them know that you've done so that they can sign off on it, get your hold lifted, and get it uploaded here for you. So we're going to go through a little bit of what the checklist that we sent you shows you and how to best use it so you can be successful as a COBE student here at Boise State. We're going to go over the types of degree that are offered, your first semester, your catalog year, your requirements, prerequisites, and typical offerings. So go ahead and open up that checklist. I'm going to open up my own so you can follow along with what I am doing as well. So this is our sample checklist. At the top of the checklist, you should see the catalog year, which is the first semester that you attended Boise State, so that would be fall of 2020, so you are all on the 2020-2021 catalog year. Keep in mind, because of that, your degree requirements may be different than a friend or a peer who started school a year or two ahead of you. Boise State and the College of Business pride themselves on innovation, so we're updating our curriculum pretty frequently. Next to your catalog year, you're going to see the title of your degree. So the degree that you're considering, I have our Business Administration BBA because that's our most popular BBA. If that's not what you see at the top, you can go ahead and look at the bottom at all these tiles and click through and click the degree that you are most interested in and follow along from there. Next, from the name of the degree, you're going to see the type of the degree. So our Business Administration degree is a Bachelor's of Business Administration. If you are trying to graduate with a Bachelor's of Business Administration, your checklist is going to have these classes highlighted in yellow. We'll get into that here in a little bit. If you're graduating with a Bachelor's of Arts or a Bachelor's of Science, which are some of our econ degrees, you are not going to have these yellow boxes, which means you do not have to be admitted to the College of Business to finish your degree. And we'll go over that a little bit more, but you should see your last name, first name, student ID, and then the date of that your catalog year was verified, which was when you were prepped. And now we're going to jump into some of the specifics of this checklist. This checklist is what you want to live and breathe by for your semester planning. It's really helpful. The left-hand side here in column A breaks down your requirements into categories. So you can see these classes right here are your Boise State Foundation requirements, meaning anyone who graduates from Boise State is required to complete these requirements. Then we have your COBE admission gateways, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. We have some additional COBE lower division courses, and then you have your indicator that anything below this line you're going to want to have applied to COBE admission for. Then we have your COBE upper division cores. Anyone who graduates with a BBA has to complete these courses. Then you have your business administration major requirements, or whatever the degree you're pursuing, their major requirements. Anything outside of a general elective, you're going to need to complete with a C- or better in order to graduate. And then your general elective credits are classes of your choosing. At the bottom, you'll notice that it takes 120 credits to graduate. Then over here on the right-hand side, it's going to tell you how many credits you have left to earn your degree. Here's where you'll see how many credits you're in progress for, and here's where you'll see how many credits you have completed. Jumping back up to the top, we're going to spend a lot of time here, as this is what we would call our traditional pre-business path. So for these Boise State foundational requirements, you've got your Englishes, your university foundations, and then your foundation courses. In your email and your digital packet, you were provided a link with your foundational course options. That's where you'll go to select these classes. So you're going to have to complete a science without a lab, a science with a lab, an arts, a humanities, a social science, and a communication class, along with the rest of these Boise State requirements in order to graduate from Boise State. And now we're going to jump into these COBE admission gateways. So these 9 classes right here in yellow that are highlighted, you need to complete with a 2.5 GPA or above in order to be admitted to the College of Business. And there's a nice reminder for you right here. So it's just your GPA for these 9 classes combined, not any additional courses. What you might notice on your checklist if you're completing finance, supply chain management, information technology management, is that this might say Math 160. There are different math requirements for each degree, so please make sure you're paying attention to your math requirement for your degree as well as for your COBE admission, and we'll get into your math path and your math track a little bit here later. But these 9 courses need to be completed with a 2.5 GPA overall in order to be admitted to the College of Business. We typically see students being admitted to the College of Business in the second semester of their sophomore year if you're on a traditional Finish in 4 path. Otherwise, we tend to see it at the first semester of your junior year. Now, keep in mind, you have required advising every semester, so you will be meeting with an advisor who will do their best to walk you through these steps to make sure that you have all the information you need and that you are ready for COBE admission. Another really great part of this checklist, outside of letting you know all your requirements, is letting you know what you need to do to take those classes. So over here, you'll notice that we have your prerequisites and that we have your term your classes are typically offered. So your prerequisites tell you what you need to do in order to take the classes that are listed over here. So let's use UF 200 as an example. We've got the course code, we've got the name of the class, Foundations of Ethics and Diversity, and then here we have the prerequisites. So in order to take UF 200, you need to have completed English 102, have completed UF 100, and have sophomore standing, so have completed 26 credits. This sheet will lay out the prerequisites for any class you need to take so that you have the power to plan your semesters, plan yourself to graduation, and know the order in which you need to take classes. The other thing that's really great about this sheet is that it lets you know what term classes are typically offered. So F stands for fall, SP stands for spring, and SU stands for summer. So this is the term that classes are typically offered. For some of you, if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll notice that it says F and SP. That means it's only offered in the fall and the spring, or you may just see an F, or you may just see an SP, which means it's only offered in the fall or only offered in the spring, which is also going to be really important for you to take ownership of in your semester planning. This notes column is just for advisors. Like I said, you have the choice to meet with any advisor you would like, so there's no requirement to meet with the same advisor. So we keep notes here in case you meet with different advisors, so all the information we need to plan you successfully is there. So this checklist is your main tool for planning, your main tool for success, and is going to be your guide to graduation. We're going to jump back into the presentation here and just go over a couple more things before you start planning. So a COBE admission review, they're highlighted in yellow on the checklist. You need a C- or better. You have to get a 2.5 GPA or higher, which is a mix of A's, B's, and C's. Typical semester to apply is your second semester of your sophomore year. Apply online through the COBE website, and there is a $25 application fee. All right, now we're going to get into the stuff you really want to know about. This is a great slide to take a picture of or a screenshot of so that you can have this while you're doing your semester planning. This is your math sequence. When we talked about your checklist, we talked about how some of you, depending on your degree, are going to need to take Math 160, and some, depending on your degree, are going to need to take Math 149. But this is the math sequence, depending on where you got placed into math. You may have started into Math 103. Math 103 feeds into Math 133, and Math 133 feeds into Math 149. For our business administration, entrepreneurship, human resource management, international business and accounting degrees, this is where you can stop your math track. If you're currently enrolled in Math 143, that's the sister course to Math 149, they satisfy the same requirement. The Math 149 is just business focused. If you want to move on to finance, supply chain, information technology management, the economics BBA, the economics BA or marketing, then you will need to continue on and take Math 160. If you're wanting to do business and economics analytics or the economic quantitative analysis, then you would go into Math 144 and Math 170, which we are typically seen taken together. If you're not sure what you want to do, we recommend moving yourself on to Math 160, so all of our BBAs are then unlocked and open for you. For your English sequence, you should have been placed into English 101 or English 101P. From English 101 or English 101P, you move into English 102. And then from English 102, you move into BizCom 201 or UF 200. You do have to take both BizCom 201 and UF 200 before you graduate, but in order to enroll in them, you have to be in English 102. and be on track to complete that in time to take BizCom 201 or UF 200. So when you go to make your proposed schedule, this is what we're going to be looking for when you email it to us for us to sign off. We're going to be looking to see that you've either completed all your English requirements or that you have English planned. We're going to be looking to see that you've either completed your math requirements or that you have math planned. We're going to be looking to see that you've either completed Biz 101 or you're in Biz 101. If not, we want to see it planned. Same with UF 100. And then if you're looking for additional courses to add, Accounting 205 and ITM 105 are a great option. If you take a look at that checklist, let me pull it back up, you will notice that when we look at Accounting 205 and we check the prerequisites, it says co-rec ITM 105. So what that means is you either need to be enrolled in ITM 105 at the same time to take Accounting 205, co-rec, they need to be taken at the same time, or pre-rec, you've already taken ITM 105. And then that's when you start adding in your foundations. We don't need to know which foundation course you want to take. That's why we send you the link so you have the power to choose. We just need to know, are you going to take a science? Are you going to take an arts? Are you going to take a humanities? Are you going to take a social science? Or are you going to take a communication class? So this is what we're going to be looking for when you email us to confirm your plan. So for your next steps are going to be fill out your proposed plan sheet. An advisor will follow up and check it with any changes that are needed, and your hold will be removed after that communication. So what I would recommend you do now is pull up that proposed plan. It's going to look something like this. You're going to fill out your current schedule with what you're currently enrolled in. This is just a sample. And how many credits each class is. Once again, if we look back on that checklist, you'll notice it tells you how many credits each class is. So you can look here as a reference if you want to know how many credits the classes that you're taking are. Then you're going to fill out your proposed plan. So you're going to tell us, based off of your checklist and this presentation, what classes you want to take next semester and the units as well. And then you're going to put in 2 alternate course options because chances are one of these classes may already be filled up or not work with your schedule. And we want you to know that there are alternate options that you can enroll in. So please plan 2 alternate options. And then you're going to email this plan, or you're going to email your advisor back and let them know that you have filled out your proposed plan. Your advisor will confirm it. They will initial and date it. You should have already initialed and dated it. Then once your advisor initials and dates it, they're going to go ahead and remove that hold. So your steps, fill out your proposed plan with the classes that you would like to take next semester based off of your checklist and your current enrollment. Make sure to include 2 alternate courses. Once you have filled out this proposed plan, email your advisor to let them know that you have. Sign and date it. Your advisor will sign and date it, remove your hold, and let you know that that's been taken care of. So these are your next steps. If you have any questions, I recommend that you email the advisor that you have been in contact with. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for taking the time to do this. And please feel free to reach out to your advisor that's been contacting you if you have any questions.